Steve Scalise joins us from Statuary Hall. Steve, good morning to you.
Steve, good morning to you.
Okay, last week you came closer than a lot of people thought with that particular bill. What about today?
Well, there's still a divide, and you could see it in the vote last week, and this week there's probably a little bit more of a divide. But members over the weekend spent a lot of time trying to figure out if they could come together. Republicans, right. And look, we've seen the Democrats walked away from this. The Democrats do not want to build the wall. This bill is even stronger than the last bill at building the wall, front-loading the money so that President Trump can have the money he needs to build the wall, close loopholes, reunite families. It does all of those things, but clearly we haven't been able as Republicans to get an agreement on how best to do this, right. And that's where the divide is.
See, I just don't get it, Steve. So many Republicans want a lot of the stuff that's in this particular bill. So why not? You know, you can't have everything you want. You got to give the Democrats something. So why don't they give them the Dreamers and a path to citizenship for, however, I think it's 1.8 million, including their family members, which is what the Democrats want. Why not give up something to get more?
Well, because what the Democrats want is amnesty and open borders, and that's really what it's come down to, and they don't want to build the wall. And let's be clear, you know, I fully support what President Trump is doing to try to secure our border, which includes building the wall, far not the only thing to do, but it's one of the things you should be doing. And so, you know, you have a president who wants to actually secure America's border. It should not be a partisan issue. Unfortunately, here in Washington, Democrats here don't want to secure the border working with this president. So we're going to keep trying to get it done. But, you know, today's going to be another effort, and we're going to keep at it.
All right. So stay tuned, although it doesn't sound like you're optimistic. Meanwhile, let's talk a little bit about this. You know that Maxine Waters over on the Democrat side has called for the public intimidation of members of the president's cabinet and others. Apparently, 100 members of Congress now want Paul Ryan to censure Maxine Waters. What do you think about that?
Well, first of all, I think that what she said, there's no place for any kind of call of violence or harassment of anybody based on your political viewpoints of all things. This is America. Even Chuck Schumer on the Senate floor said it's not American to engage in that kind of behavior. So I think everybody needs to tone it down and recognize, look, we're a country of divided political viewpoints, and that's what makes America great. But you should express those viewpoints civilly, and where you have your disagreements, you solve them at the ballot box. That's the greatest thing of America, is that when we have our differences, we can actually go and vote people in or out of office based on their political views, and you can express them freely, but you don't have the right to go and try to harass or incite violence against people.
Or harm somebody. Steve, you are a medical miracle that you are alive today. Some guy, a Bernie Sanders supporter, I believe, came out about a year ago and tried to kill as many Republicans as he could. I know that yesterday you were critical of Maxine Waters, and then I read in the New York Post this morning that many people tweeted back at you their sorrow that you had not survived the attack.
You know, I've seen that kind of vitriol on the left. There's no place for it. Frankly, you should see more Democratic leaders calling those kind of statements out. They shouldn't be sitting on the sidelines letting those kind of statements by their own supporters be made. We didn't do that when Barack Obama was president. There were a lot of things we didn't agree with him on in terms of his policies, but we never tried to incite violence against him or his supporters. There's no place for that on either side of the political aisle.
You were right about that. Steve Scalise, the whip in the House. Sir, thank you very much for joining us live.
Great being with you.